Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me again for another night of Facebook Live. I also want to take time out to recognize those that catch me on the replay from YouTube and or SoundCloud. It is indeed a blessing to be here with you tonight as I am your host, Tricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. Tonight I want to talk to you about rising above it all. So tonight the topic of our discussion is rising above it all. And it is a important reminder for us all because we can get caught up in life and we can get caught up in everything that is going on that sometimes we can get lost in the midst of it all. So tonight I want to remind us that we have to rise above it no matter what it is. And we know that life is coming in and it's taking us by storm. Many things are causing us to question why. And a lot of things we do not have answers for. So this is why it's important that I come in tonight on this Sunday night, as beautiful as it is outside, just to remind you to rise above it all. Continue to rise above it all. That means continue to protect our minds, continue to protect our hearts, continue to embrace those that are important to us while we have them. So with that being said, I did tag my daughters in this video today because I have not seen them and I have not spoken to them today. So if they happen to come across this video on their timeline, I just want to take time out to let them know right now that mommy loves you and mommy misses you. And so she's expecting you to arrive back home safely. So that is the purpose of me tagging you ladies tonight on this video. So as you guys are joining in with me tonight, feel free to like and share this video. Like and share this video. It is very important as the algorithms of Facebook and other media pages we know are changing daily. So we need to make sure we like and share the video as you're logging on with me. Also, for those of you that are out there and you're joining me, send me a shout out, say hello, let me know that you are here tonight. I'll just be a few minutes tonight. I will not hold you long as I am just coming home and just come home and sat in front of the computer only to hear some more devastating news. Lost another family member. And guys, I just tell you what, it is every day. There is no day we should ever take for granted in reaching out and letting those know that are important to us, that we love them and that we're thinking of them, because we don't know where death lies, we don't know where hardships lies, and it's just one of those things that we don't have control over and we don't have the answers for. So every day, every week, every month, it's something. It's always something. Hey, Keisha, how are you, love? I am glad you are here with me tonight. And I'm glad it came across your timeline because I don't believe that I tagged you in the video tonight. So I'm glad you were able to run across it on your timeline and join me, as I look forward to you being here with me practically every night. So I think you're kind of spoiling me. I'm expecting you. So it's kind of like that expectation. So tonight I just wanted to remind us all to rise above it all. To rise above it all, because we know that life is going to happen. Sometimes we can be overwhelmed and we found ourselves drowning amongst the chaos and the noise of life. So to rise above it all, there are some things that we must do intentionally so that we don't sink in the midst of the storms of life. And so I want to share some of those things with you that we can do together and collectively to make sure that we're not getting lost in the hustle and bustle of life. But also I do want to take time out to remind you guys while you're here with me to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, our YouTube channel houses all the Facebook Live videos. So if you're subscribed to that channel, if you're not able to join me here at 10 o'clock every night, you can catch the replays and the on-demand videos there on YouTube. I also offer YouTube trainings there on that channel as well. So if you check my website out, which is also there in the comment section, you can check out my website and see what courses I have available that you may be interested in. And also a reminder of the upcoming Worthy of Abundance Summit that I am speaking in. It is a platform hosted by August Crenshaw herself, and it is just an awesome platform to help us women come together and understand our stories, understand what we've been through, and how to put those pieces of our lives together to understand that we are worthy of abundance, and how to connect the blueprints of our life to reach that next level and go to that next level together. So awesome platform. I'm honored to be a part of that. If you want your ticket, it's $37. If you can't be there August 5th through 8th, once you purchase your ticket, you do have lifetime access to that content, which also comes with a workbook, awesome workbook, guys, awesome workbook to help you process each topic from each speaker. And also we have a live where you're able to interact with the speakers live on August 8th and be able to ask questions and interact with us. So I'm excited. It's one of first that I've been a part of in this virtual arena, and so I am very excited about the potential of that summit, and so I'm honored to be a part of it. Karen, how are you, honey? Glad you are here as well, honey. Glad you are here as well tonight. I just wanted to come and remind you guys to rise above it all. Just to rise above it all, to be mindful of who we are and not get lost and caught up in the midst of the chaos of life, guys. So we can tend to do that from time to time, especially when we're losing loved ones, when we're losing friends, when we're losing people, and it's just catching us by surprise, and it comes as a shock. And sometimes we get to the point to where things are hitting us left and right, left and right, left and right, and all of a sudden we are off focus. We lose focus on our goals, we lose focus on our dreams, we lose focus on our expectations. And so this is what it's all about tonight. Hey Carzel, how are you? Thanks for joining me tonight. I want to remind you personally to continue to rise above it all. Continue to rise above it all, because when we begin to step out and begin to take on new grounds, and then life starts coming at us like seems like never before, but back to back, losing people, losing jobs, being criticized, being put out on Front Street, being lied on. All these things come against us, and we tend to lose our focus. We tend to take our eyes off of what's in front of us and start looking at the winds or the noise that are blowing. And so this is why it's important that I remind you. This is why it's important that we remind each other that when these things come, we have to rise above it all. And this is where we go back to that illustration where we talk about the eagle. The eagle. The eagle flies high, it soars high, and it flies at an altitude that no other bird flies. Okay? And even when there's a storm, the eagle is not distracted by the storm, but rather they use the storm to help continue to soar at a pace of ease and almost like they're cruising along. So this is where we have to remind each other. Things are going to happen, things are going to come. And like tonight, having unexpected news come at you, and things that are going on that are beyond our control. That does not mean stop. And this is where I have seen so many of us get to the point where things are happening, and so we start something, and when it happens, we stop. And we waddle in it a little while, and then when things tend to cool off a little bit more and something, we start again. And then something else comes. We stop. This is not the way we are created to be. This is not the way eagles do. This is not the way lions approach life. We have to consistently keep our goals, our dreams, our aspirations in front of us. We can't get caught up in the noise. We can't get caught up in the chaos. We cannot get caught up in things that do not match up or do not line up with our goals and our dreams. One thing it takes to keep us rising above it all is discipline. We must have self-discipline. And guys, I must share with you, and I've shared it with my organization, with my alliance group. There's just some things that we should have that set us apart and different from everybody else. And one of those things is going to be our ability to be disciplined. We must be. There is no way around it. If you have goals, you have dreams, you have aspirations, especially if you voice those, there should be nothing, listen guys, there should be nothing that goes on in your life or around your life to take your eyes off of that goal, dream, and aspiration. Absolutely nothing. The only thing is death, and that is when you close your eyes in death. Nothing else. There are times when my life is falling apart around me. There are times when I sit here, my heart is heavy, but I have a job to do. I have goals to reach. I have aspirations to attain. And the only way I can do that is if, when those things come at me, and when life hits me like a flood, and when everything around me is falling apart, I must find the strength within to continue to stand and to continue to show up and continue to press through. And this is what helps us rise above: discipline. So if you don't have it, this is the first place you need to start working. You need to start working on how can you build that muscle to be self-contained, self-controlled, and disciplined, so that whatever it is that you say that you are committed to, you follow suit with whatever your words say. And this is where many of us, we lose a lot of people. We lose a lot of relationships because we don't have the discipline. We're all over the place. And to some people, that's the way they function. For me, it's not. For me, my word is all I have. For me, my character is all I have to speak for me. It's all I have. So I have to have that discipline. And so you have to learn what it takes for you to get that, and for you to continue to keep whatever is important to you in front of you, so that you continue to press toward that. So we need discipline, guys, and many of us miss it in our formula. We miss it. And many of us are disciplined to a point to where when something comes that catches us by surprise or by storm, then we just stop, and we can't do that. We have to be consistent. So we need discipline, and we need to be persistent in what it is that we say that we are set out to do. People need to see you. They need to be able to trust you. You need to be able to establish those healthy relationships. And so it is important. We have to rise above it all, no matter what it is. Kids acting up, husband and wife can't get along. We don't know where the next meal's going to come from. Whatever it is, guys, because we know that many of us are on in different places, and we know that with the pandemic, things are still uncertain for a lot of us. But we have to continue to press toward the things that we keep in front of us, and that is all we have. So we rise above it with discipline. We rise above it with persistence and accountability. Get you an accountability partner. Get you an accountability partner. And this is someone who may look totally opposite than you. This may not be your buddy. Your buddy may be more chaotic and have more chaotic things in life going on than you do. They may not be able to manage time well. You need people around you that are going to hold you accountable for the things that you say that you want, for the things that you say you desire, for the things that you say you are pressing toward. We don't need people on us or around us that are pulling us down and are drawing our attention away from everything except for where we say that we desire to be, guys. So if my goals, my dreams, my aspirations is to gross $100,000 for the remainder of 2020, and I'm trying to get there, then everything I do should be focused on that goal. I shouldn't be worrying about who's over here not doing that, who's over here not doing that, who's doing what, and trying to see and be jealous and envious and everything else because of what somebody else's stuff look like, worrying about who's lying on me, worried about who's criticizing my platform, whatever. My goals are my goals, and if whatever is going on, if the noise, if the wind's blowing, if the storms come, and they don't line up or measure up in the direction that I'm going, I cannot give my attention to that. I cannot. I will not. If people are around you and they don't support your goals and your dreams, and they're giving you negativity and they're draining your energy, limit your time. Limit your thoughts. And this is where we also have to add protecting our minds, protecting our mental space, protecting what we put in it. We have to limit our time in front of the television. We have to limit our time with those conversations that are not going anywhere. We have to limit our times with those streaming the media that are not important value into our lives. This is why my space is so small. Can I interact with other people? Yes, I can. But they will not get a majority of my time. It just does not work that way. And if I am giving you my time, and there are certain people, and I've told them already, they have my time because they are a part of my team. We are not necessarily all at the same level, but my time is a priority. I make them a priority to give my time and my consultations and my ear to, because they are important to me. We're not all at the same level. But I expect that if you're on my team, I expect that if you're in my circle, that we are growing. And as I grow, we are going to grow together. Because if you're attached to me, you have no choice but to grow. You have no choice but to thrive. You have no choice but to begin to change. You have no choice but to begin to shift your recipe and your mindsets. You have no choice. Because you're under my teaching, or because you're under my platform, or because you're under my direction, my mentorship, you have no choice but to change. You're either going to change and you're going to make the necessary adjustments, or you're going to fall away. There is no one connected to the vine of life, or no one connected to life, or no one connected to positivity that is not going to show those same fruit. It just does not work that way. And so if the head or the root or the tree is bearing fruit, then everything that is connected to that tree or that vine or that root is going to bear that same fruit. We're going to get there. Not that we're already arrived, but we're going to get there. We rise together. So that means when something is bothering you, it may bother me, but I'm not going to dwell in the mud puddle with you. Together, something is going to be said, and we're going to talk through it. We're going to work through it, and then we're going to press forward to where our goals and expectations are. This is what rising above it all is all about. Hey, Pam. Hey, Tammy. How are you guys? It's where it's all about. So, yes, things happen. We don't discount those things that happen to us. But if we say that we're this, or if we confess that we're that, and our fruit is not showing up, if we're inconsistent, if we're not disciplined, if we're not accountable, if we're not building those relationships, if we're not focused on that, if we start and stop, we're not rising above anything. So we have to look at the formula that we're using. We have to look at what we're doing, because obviously at that point it's not working. And the only way it's going to work is that we add discipline to the formula. We have to be disciplined. We have to manage our time. We have to be accountable. We have to be persistent. We have to be, guys. This is what we need to rise above it all. And we have to form relationships with people that are going to hold us accountable. Not those that are going to have a pity party with us when life comes and slaps us in the face. So I do hope that something was said tonight to help you. And if you're one of those that have not been rising above, and one of those that have been starting something, stopping something, starting something, stopping something, tonight it changed. Tonight, right now, right here, you hear me, you're sitting here, you're watching me, you're listening to the replay, whatever it is, tonight it changes. I just told you what you need for it to change. I can't tell you unless I've been through it and practice it for myself. That's how I know. I know what it takes to rise above. That's why when people criticize me, I continue to sit right back down, do what I need to do. When people got an opinion on who I interact with from day to day, that's why I sit back down and continue to build those relationships. When life comes like it has from time and time again, I'm losing family, I'm losing friends, I'm losing loved ones, kids acting up and money short, whatever the situation is, I sit back down and I continue to press back through it. It's in the formula. The formula works. And I have a strength now that I've never believed, I've never imagined that I could have what I have right now. And it's on the inside. I have a inner peace on the inside that in spite of it all, in spite of all that I don't understand, in spite of all that I'm faced with from day to day, in spite of what everything else looks like around me, I have a peace. And my mind is still focused. And I'm still pressing toward those things that I say that I desire to attain in my life. So I grieve for that moment. I'm in my feelings for that moment. I deal with the pressures in that moment. I do whatever I have to do for that moment, but it cannot consume my time. I have to rise above it. Remember what the eagle does? when the storms come. They don't stay in the storm. They don't stay in the storm, continuing to allow all the winds and the noise and stuff distract them. They go above it. And so this is where we have to get. We have to rise above it all. Don't get caught up in the noise. Don't get caught up in those people that aren't going anywhere and want you to go with them. Don't get caught up in those people who want you to make a choice between them and whoever else, destroying your relationships. Don't get caught up in all that. Don't get caught up in the kids acting up. Don't get caught up in the disagreements between the spouse. Don't get caught up in the money not being there. Don't get caught up in not knowing if our job is going to be there from one day to the next. Don't get caught up in all of it. It's time now that we rise above it all. I appreciate you guys being here with me tonight. It is a blessing, as it is every night, to be right here with you. Again, if you missed these lives, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I put the link right there in the comment section. That way you can go back and you can look at content from past. And also, I upload them almost daily there to that content. For those of you also that are interested in courses and other events that I have going on, please take time out to visit my website. That link is also there for those that are joining me or plan to join me for the Worthy of Abundance Summit. I also put the link there. I'd love to have you join me. I love to see us all together, connected and rising above it all. I am your host, Tricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. Good night, everybody.